Hey, I am back with some kingdom truths concealed in creation again, and today I'm going to talk about the concepts of inertia and momentum and how these are physical concepts, but how they really have some powerful application for our mental and our spiritual realities. So, first, to establish, inertia is essentially that concept that an object at rest tends to stay at rest. Well, momentum is that concept that an object in motion tends to stay in motion. So we need to recognize that if you want to overcome inertia for a time, it is going to seem like nothing is changing. You're going to be applying force, but you won't really see that rapid change yet. It's going to feel like you are putting in more effort, but you're not really seeing that outward evidence yet. But if you keep applying force, then you will see that progress. You will see these effects of inertia anytime in your life that you are trying to start something new, whether you're trying to institute a new habit, whether you are trying to get healthy by getting up and getting moving, or whether you're trying to start a business. Anytime you are doing something new, there is going to be the chance for inertia to try and enter into the system. And so that means that the hardest part is actually going to be at the beginning. Because once you get rolling, once you get things moving, a new force enters into the equation, and that can actually work for you. So remember, momentum is, again, that concept that an object in motion tends to stay in motion. So soon, the intentions that you have are actually going to become a habit. Your body is going to anticipate and even crave that activity. And in your business, the obligations in business are going to actually create all of these opportunities for consistent progress. So once you get that speed going, it's going to take some intention, it's going to take motion, but once you get it going to the level that you really want it, that's the time that you can actually rest a little bit, when you can stop pushing quite so hard. But you got to recognize that where you decide to rest is where you're going to level off. And at that point, it's going to be, the good thing is it's not going to take much effort to maintain that level. It's going to level off, but it'll take very little, little energy to maintain it at that point. But you don't want to let off too early, and you don't want to fall into the trap that can happen when you recognize that you are riding that momentum. So you have to be aware that when you stop applying consistent force and energy and intention, it's going to feel like you're still maintaining that progress. It's going to feel like you're still doing great, but the system is actually going to be losing energy at that point. So you won't really notice the change usually until you've lost a considerable amount of your momentum. And you can convince yourself that you're still maintaining, but in reality, you're actually losing the energy that you worked so very hard to build. So you want to kind of picture this like if you've gone bike riding before. Like, once it takes a lot of effort, but once you get up to the speed that you want, as long as your feet are continuing to move, it almost feels effortless to move forward at that same pace. But if you just stop, let those feet ride, then you're going to eventually start slowing down. And then it's going to take a lot of effort to get yourself back up to that speed that you had before. So consistency is a very vital component for maintaining your momentum. And if you aren't at the speed that you want to be at, you are never going to coast your way there. So there is a good verse in Philippians 3:14 that says, "I press on towards the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus." So pressing on, that requires action. There is a goal in your life, and there is an upward call of God, which is by nature uphill. It is impossible to reach the heights that you are created to achieve at the current level for most of us. For most of us, we are not at the speed that's going to take us to where we were created to go. So it's going to take some standing up, some intention, some energy, some effort, and some recognizing that this is the hard bit. So, but in the words of my son, let's go.